Hello and welcome back to my channel. As always, I am Matt from Cleveland Sex Therapy. I'm a licensed clinical therapist and ASEX certified sex therapist. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, anal sex. Just so you know, this video is being recorded in 2024, and the fact that there is still so much stigma that exists around this sex act, literally it blows my mind. So, in this first of two-part series, I'm going to be busting some myths around anal sex. Myth 1, anal sex is just for gay men. Let's get the biggest and potentially most sex-negative myth out of the way first. Anal sex is pleasurable. More on that in myth 2. Period. It's pleasurable. It does not matter your race, gender, or sexual orientation. I do see where this myth comes from, though. When you are having sex, you assume that people are talking about penetrative sex. When it comes to gay men, sex negativity will tell you that the only kind of penetrative sex that they can have is through the anus. Because of this, a lot of cis straight men and women won't even entertain the idea. But let's look at some research studies. One that was conducted between 2006 and 2008 found that half of men aged 15 to 44 had anal sex with an opposite sex partner. A 2015 report found that 43% of men had been anally penetrated by a female partner, and 37% of women had tried anal sex as well. Anal sex is on the rise, especially for straight men. In heterosexual relationships, women who peg their male partner report feeling so empowered by the experience. And the man who is being pegged reports that they can tap into this vulnerability, which leads to a deeper connection with their female partner. So you see, anal sex is not just for gay men. And one final note for all of you people out there, not all gay men like penetrative anal sex. So please, let's end that myth that all gay men like penetration. This is just simply not true. While there can be tops, bottoms, and verse individuals, there can also be sides. And those individuals are ones who just don't enjoy penetration. Remember, our sexual orientation does not dictate our sexual preference in the bedroom. Myth 2, the anus was not made for pleasure. In fact, it was made for it. The anus is filled with nerve endings and thus pleasure zones. People talk about the fact that the anus was made for elimination. Sure, I get that, but the breasts were made to deliver milk, yet that doesn't stop us from deriving pleasure from them. Feet, earlobes, fingers were not made to be sucked, yet when they are, we get a ton of pleasure from that experience. So what's the difference? The difference is the shame, sex negativity, and homophobia that we talked about in the first myth. Myth number 3 is that anal sex is risky. This is another fun one to dissect with people. When we talk about safe sex practices for really any form of sex, we're talking about consent. We're talking about open communication. We're talking about using condoms and medications. As long as that's happening, we are mitigating a lot of the risk in all forms of sex, vaginal, anal, or anything else. Some will point to the fact that unprotected anal sex is the #1 way that HIV is spread across the human species. While yes, that is true, it does not make it riskier than any other kind of sex. For instance, vaginal sex is the #1 way that we spread babies in this world. And for this last myth, myth number 4, anal sex is always painful. The butt isn't built to receive or self-lubricate. So we can't treat it like a vagina that is built to receive and self-lubricate. While many people may expect it, pain is not a given with anal sex. In fact, it shouldn't be painful at all. Now, that isn't to say that there isn't going to be some discomfort in the beginning, but we want to avoid pain, especially sharp pain, That is your body telling you, no, 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 get out of here. Remember, good communication and firm boundaries is what makes everything pleasurable. As we wrap up, let this certified sex therapist give you a little tip. Especially during initial encounters, bottoms or those who are receiving penetration should absolutely 100% be in control of the experience. A lot of what is fun during anal sex is the power exchange. But just like not all tops are masculine and all bottoms are feminine, not all tops have to be in control. Once bottoms understand their bodies more, they have my full blessing to give themselves over to whomever and whatever they want to. All right, that's all I got. What myths have you heard when it comes to anal sex? I would love to hear them, so please comment down below. Until next time.